Yeah, so we are from Rayapati Analytics. Let me share my screen. Just a moment. Yeah. So let me share my screen. So yeah, we are from Rayapati Analytics. Like you can reach us, like the website for that is rayapatianalytics.com. This is our website, and please do visit our website if you have anything regarding Tableau, like let it be training, doubts, or anything. You can, if you have any queries regarding Tableau, let it be doubts, let it be training related queries or job support, anything, you can contact this number +9121314313. And to talk about myself, I'm Rajeshwar Rayapati. I'm a Tableau developer cum trainer. So I'm very much passionate about Tableau. So that is the reason I keep conducting this doubt sessions, because I want to uh, give back to this Tableau community and also help all those people who are actually working on Tableau and are not able to, what do you say, not able to uh, use it to their potential, right? Or they have certain issues or certain understanding that is required, some scenarios where they are struck, so that it will help them understand that. So along with me, we have today we have Kalpana Rayapati, who I in these doubt sessions I'll deal with what do you say, the logical parts, and if it is design parts of Tableau, then Kalpana will be taking care. And any doubts or any person, the POC to for all the Tableau related issues is Mr. Shrikant. And coming to Tableau server, uh, Prasad, are you present? So Prasad will be handling the server related queries. And actually there is one
Yes.
guy who should
So
come.
sorry, I'm present. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is one more guy who is supposed to come regarding Tableau prep. Actually, we are not able to reach him out as of now. So yeah, anything related to prep, yeah, you can ask, but we'll try to answer. But yeah, the expert is not present here. Okay. So Kalpana, can you just brief about just for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, brief about yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Kalpana Raipati. So I'm working in Tableau since 2013. So any doubts regarding design part, I can handle any doubts in that area. So functional part, sorry, logical part, Rajeshwari is there to help us. Okay, yeah, let's hope for the doubts. All meaningful doubts will
So
be clarified
Prasad,
here itself.
yeah, Prasad, can you please introduce
Yeah.
yourself?
Yeah, Rajeshwar. Thank you for that. And hi, team. My name is Prasad. I've been working in IT industry for more than 10 years, and in Tableau development, more than 6 years of experience in Tableau administration, actually. So apart of that, I've been working for other administration parts, Informatica and X-Ray, some of the tools. But yeah, I've been here for Tableau server admin currently. Yeah, this is what currently from my side.
Shrikant, can you please tell them the process, how this happens, any doubts or queries or something?
Hello.
Yeah, Shrikant.
Yeah, you're saying.
Okay, okay. There's a lot of disturbance coming.
काढायला लागली आणि ते
There's
आपण
a
लय
lot of
दिवसातून
disturbance.
बघितलं थोडं नॉर्मल कर मापात त्याचं उंची वाढायला लागली ते खराब दिसत जात तिथं बी होत ते बारीक पण आपल्याला लय दिवस बघितलं तुम्ही तरी आत्ता बघितलं आम्ही तर सव्वा
Rajeshwar, can you mute from your side while they're
I'm
talking?
trying to mute. There are many people who are on mute.
I think
So yeah,
Shrikant
No,
can
no,
do that
muted one.
at a time.
You can mute.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Srikanth, okay. Srikanth generally handles all these parts of handling these queries. If you have any query, you can call this number. He's the one who will be managing that number. So anything regarding Tableau, you can call him. So now I'd like to open the floor for doubts. There's anyone, if you have any doubt, please do ask us the doubts. And someone already pinged. Yeah. So guys, any doubts?
Hello.
Please raise your hand. You can ask. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, recently in my interview, a person asked me, "What is the highest point of your storytelling?" What might be the answer?
Highest point of your storytelling.
Yeah,
I actually didn't get that question. What is highest point of your story?
yeah. Even I tried to search for that answer, but I didn't get it
Uh,
actually.
uh, is that interview question or what?
Yeah, interview question.
Okay.
Highest point of storytelling. I don't know. Might be he might be asking about some the complicated scenarios that we have. Did you ask him for clarification? Like, what do you mean by that?
No, actually, I tried to answer that. Just I tried to tell about what a story point is, but he said he's not convinced, and he just jumped into the next question, but he didn't answer me that. And also, the next question he asked is, what will you do if you have a huge amount of data? So for suppose there is a very huge amount of data. How could you handle that? And then the next question is. Oh, sorry, I couldn't remember. Yeah, data set. Yeah, what will be the size of average size of your data sets? So these kind of questions he asked me.
Okay. Let me answer that first thing. What will you do when you have huge amounts of data? See, this is a very common question nowadays. Now, see, when it is very huge amount of data, basically, what is the experience that you have put in your resume?
It is 4.2.
4 point. See, here when they ask you that what do you do when the huge amounts of data is present? First thing, they might have two aspects of it. One is they might be asking you, right? They might be asking you to understand, right? To understand the data that you have worked on. Now, when it is a huge amount of data, first thing is we will take only when it is development. It is development, we will take a huge amount of data, and we'll start working on that data. And when the data handling that data in Tableau is mostly dealt in the server. My point is, when you have huge amount of data, you will do the development in your desktop using the limited amount of data. You will only track the limited amount of data that you can, and you will build the workbook. Once the workbook is done, when you publish it into the server, then the extract and everything will happen in the server, and the server is the one which will manage that huge amount of data. Okay. The second question, what is the second question he asked?
Yeah,
Data
what is
sets.
the average size of your data sets? Yeah.
See, average size of data, it differs. See, in my work, I have dealt with 10 million rows of data, and I also have dealt with 2,000 rows of data. Now, when it is 10 million, I say I work in the financial, uh, I work with the fintech team, which is a company's total financial records. Now, when we are talking about the spends on a monthly level at different organizations, then there are two data sets. One which is updated daily, right? Which is actuals, and one which is updated once in a month, which is forecast and budget. Now, when we talk about actuals, yeah, there are 10 million, whatever the 10 millions that records, the records that I have told you, right? That is talking about that. There is one more data set which is having hardly 1 million data, which is talking about budget and forecast. So, if the data set, it again depends on what your work is on. And there are certain dashboard that I have built in the same company, which will have 2000, 3000 rows of data only, which is totally a summary data. So data set, typical data set, there is no particular row or particular number of rows or particular number of sizes. But yeah, the question they asked is because they wanted to understand about what you worked and how you. Okay, because every data is different, right? Every data is different. Every people's managing data is different. And the level of data that you are working at. Now, if you are working at the lowest granularity of the data, at a day level or R level, if your database is updating at an R level, there's one person who came to me at that they have per hour they get some 2 to 3 million rows of data. So that is again a different aspect. Here,
Okay, sir. Yeah.
10 million maximum I worked is with 10 million rows of data.
Okay. So then there won't be anything regarding highest point in storytelling. Can you clear the topic? Is there anything to know particularly about storytelling? To be
There is
precise.
nothing. Storytelling is nothing much different. See, storytelling is just like the PPT, the PowerPoint presentation that you make, right? Actually, there is nothing, no great features that are provided. You just add your sheets, whatever you have, and you create a story from that, so that you can explain this whatever in my work as a Tableau developer. I have used the storyboard just to explain the status of the project, or explain like someone is looking for to understand the dashboards. Then we use the storyboard to tell that how to use those dashboards, or they want a report where they want to see a certain flow of data. Then we using the views that we have built. So the slide, like here you can add these slides slide by slide. You can start adding them and you can explain them. Other than that, I haven't seen anything like highest story point. I haven't got to that. Let me check. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Ranjit raised the hand.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, hi
Hi
Rajesh.
Rajesh, sir. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, my name is.
One at a time, please.
Yeah, Ranjit this
Yeah.
side.
Your voice is low.
Uh, Ranjit this side, Rajesh.
Yeah, tell me.
Rajesh, how to change the alignment of the shapes which we are using in Tableau desktop? Alignment of the shapes. Alignment of the
Alignment
shape
of the
actually.
shapes or shapes?
Sorry? Shape. Actually, for example, if I'm putting, can you open the Tableau desktop once?
I think Kalpana, it's better you answer this.
Yeah, okay. Someone from Tableau desktop.
Yeah, Anish,
Yeah,
she's the
let
design expert.
just follow that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
in columns, can you type average of 0? Average of 0. In columns or rows, anything is average of 0.
I'll
Yeah.
shift it to there. I'll shift it to columns.
And the next field also average of 0.0.
Here, next to average
Yeah, average of 0.0.
0.0. Okay.
Okay. Now, okay, can you change that marks card to shapes actually? Instead of
Both
automatic,
of
can you
them
make
or only one?
shapes? Both change to shapes. Just put any string field there in both any like
Color, is it okay?
no in text actually in text.
Text.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, text you are asking.
Text.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so
Text
now
means what
I
you
want
will
to
get.
change the alignment. Okay,
Okay.
so no
Wait,
office
wait.
supplies is there, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So actually, I'm what type of thing I will use now? I will just type a random field only there. Okay. So I want to change the alignment actually. Now it is there in center, right? The shape and office supplies in at the center alignment. Okay. I need to shift that to left side. Are you getting my
You
point?
need to shift that to left side.
Yes. If I shift that left side, only office supplies will move right now, but the shape is being only at the center only actually.
Then I think here, let me header is there. Yeah, this one, right? Edit
First, take it
access.
to entire view, Rajeshwar.
Now
Then
you
you'll
have
understand.
already okay, entire view. Now my point is, Kalpana, if we can edit this axis, now see we are pointing it to 0, right? Anyways, it is constant. Then if I put end to 1, we are shifting it to the right, right?
So
Here
okay.
I'll put minus
-1.
0.0, no, point. Minus, he wanted to the left, yeah. Now you have shifted it to the left.
Yes, yes, yeah, okay. This looks fine. Actually,
See,
I got only
yeah,
office supplies was moving if I change alignment. Thank
no.
you. Yeah, this looks
So
fine.
here, okay, this is because you are trying to change the alignment of the label, but not the shape. Now here, what we did is,
Mm-hmm.
we actually manipulated the axis because you took average of 0, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
now this office supplies will show wherever 0 is there.
Okay.
Now, if you want it to align, then you can actually edit axis.
Mm-hmm.
And in the axis, then this is your playground now. You can play it in a whichever way you want. I'm just putting 0.05. I shifted a bit less, a bit more into that.
Okay,
Right?
okay, okay.
I shifted 0.5, one more 0.
Mm-hmm.
Or 1. Okay,
Okay,
or
okay. Yeah,
2.
thank you, Rajesh.
So it is
This
moving,
is
right?
what I
It is
expected.
moving to the left, to the
Yes,
direction that you can play
yes,
with the
yes,
axis to it.
yes, yes.
So, Kalpana, is that right, or do you have any other? Kalpana? Okay.
Hi Rajeshwar, this is me here. I just had a
Hi.
question on
Hi.
LOD. Rajeshwar, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
I just
clearly.
had a question on LODs, simple questions. Like, while working with the
Mm-hmm.
LODs, there was on fixed LODs, I was able to move from measure to dimension, but I'm not able to move what is the exclude and
Include
include
and exclude.
into. Yeah, no, even
Okay.
both will be
Okay.
given as a values only, right? Include and exclude and not
Yeah.
getting the logic.
That is the design. That is the design thing in Tableau. Let's discuss on that. Okay. So now what? Can I get your name, please?
Call me Olipi.
Pardon?
Olipi.
Only. Okay. Only what he is saying is, now here if you see, if I'm writing my fixed category sum of sales. Now let me name this as fixed cat sales. Now apply.
Yeah.
Now when I right click on this, see you are getting this option to convert to dimension. So when I
Correct.
convert to dimension, you can see this here. The same way I am duplicating this, edit, and in place of fixed, I'm using include. And let me rename this. Okay, let me click on apply. Now, if you see, this include is now present in here in the measures part. Now, when I right click on this, I cannot see that convert to dimension. Now, the reason behind this is, or even if you write an exclude also, it will be the same. The reason behind this is, now, see here, this is discrete. Now, as I duplicated this and I have renamed this as include, it is discrete, but it is a discrete measure. Now, I can even convert it into continuous. We can. Now, the reason behind why Tableau is behaving like this is, whenever we are talking about dimensions, they are unique, specific, and non-changing values. Non-changing values in the sense, here I'll drag my customer name. Now, this customer name is not dependent on any other field. It is independent. Right? This customer name is independent. As if there is a change in the database, the name will change. But in here, If I drag any measure or something, if I drag any measure or any other dimension, the name of this customer is not going to change, right? The same goes with your dates, right? If something is a dimension, the main thing that we need to understand is their values are independent of other values in the database. But can we say that about the measures? No, because here you are seeing your measure value, right? The moment I drag any dimension, now they are sliced and the values are shown accordingly. So sales, these measures doesn't have a fixed value. Overall, they have a value, 2.2 million. But when it comes to view level, their values are not same. Now, when this is what I'm talking about, measures. But the moment I write a fixed LOD, right? The moment I write a fixed LOD, the values, these values for a fixed LODs are going to stay the same. By that I mean, if I drag this, I'm converting this to measure again. If I drag this in here, I'm going to get 742. And if I drag this to anything for segment, if I'm dragging, then I'm dragging fixed cat sales. You are getting here 2.2 million for all the things. Guys, please mute. There is a category in each of these segments, right? So that is why. So by this I mean this furniture in this category, furniture is going to have the same value all through. That is the quality of fixed. That is the reason Tableau is giving you an option to convert that into a dimension. But when you come to a include LOD, the problem with include LOD is, now let me drag include LOD to here. It is giving you 2.2 million. Now, if I drag any dimension, the value of that is going to change. The value, it will show you just like sum of sales. It is going to get sliced by the dimensions and measures, right? So because of that, the value of include is never fixed. When it is never fixed, you cannot convert that into a dimension. So that is why it is not showing you any option to convert it into the dimension. The same goes with table calculations. Even table calculations, they also work on the view. So as they work on the view, they don't have a fixed value. Hence, Tableau doesn't give you an option to convert them into a dimension. You can convert them into a discrete value, but not a dimension. Okay?
Okay, but I'm not able to create the bins also.
Yeah, again. Okay, on this you are not able to create the bins. Okay.
Only fixed I'm able to create and exclude and.
Again, bins again is the problem because see, this sales, whatever you are having, is dependent on the database and it has its fixed values, right? The granularity to create bins. Now, this is the flip side of it. To create bins, you need to have the granularity. Here, the granularity is fixed because sales is always talking about the level of the level that is present, here, this level. But when you come to an include, the problem is there is no fixed granularity for this, because include will always adhere to the view level granularity. So that is why there is no fixed values. Again, measure and these include are different. Sales have fixed values, and it is sliced by the dimensions. Understand the difference. These measures have fixed values which are sliced by the dimension, but include doesn't have any fixed value. So that is why you cannot create bins on it, because bins are again based on your granularity, right? There is a fixed bin created for every set of every range of measure. Now when I'm creating this bin, I create bins on a range, like size of bin.
Right.
It is suggested by Tableau. You can even you can suggest your own size. To set this size, the granularity is not present for include. Include is always at the view level granularity. That is why again, on table calculations and include and exclude, you cannot create bins as well. Okay?
Understood.
Okay.
Yeah, hi Raheshwar.
Hi. Hi.
So is filter sharing is possible across different schemas?
Different schemas.
When you go to
It
data
should be
source
possible.
table,
If the tables are related, it should be possible.
yeah, those are related only.
Yeah, because you have this option, right? I'm not having any option to show the schemas as of now. But
No,
see,
no. Can you take any one more table, global
here,
superstore? Yeah, yeah,
you want me to join or blend?
yeah. Join only.
Join. Okay. I think people is already there. By default, Tableau gives that. You want me to drag orders again?
Yeah, anything is.
Yeah, let's bring the orders again. Now I'm using order ID.
Why you are taking two
Because
dimensions?
Superstore's granularity, if you go and see, okay, I'll show you. Let me uh, wait just a minute. I need to connect to a new data source. The granularity of Superstore is at the level of order ID and product name. That is the reason I'm joining on that. So that I don't get the Cartesian product of anything. If you see 9986, there are products with the same in the same order ID. There are two products. So that's it. But you are getting almost all the rows, right? You are getting to the lowest possible granularity. So that is the reason in here I'm using these two columns: product ID and product name and order ID. Okay, so yeah, I have joined this. Now, what is your query?
No, okay. Go to. You make one filter. You take one filter.
Okay,
So okay,
here
okay.
I'm taking subcategory as a filter. This one?
Yeah. No, if you take any drag any dimensions into the sheet, any dimensions.
No, this will drag something else. Just yeah, I drag segment.
Okay, and also take another sheet from sample superstore 2.
Okay, then it is blending.
Yeah, I want to share across different tables, different data sources.
Yeah, you mean by blend? That is what I asked. Join or blending? If I drag it from here, then that is blending.
Yeah, that is kind.
Okay, then okay. I'm dragging again subcategory here, and then I'm dragging my cells. Okay, no, I got your point. You are saying here. Okay, let me not use subcategory here as I used filter there. I'm using customer. Okay, you mean to say you want to apply this subcategory to this sheet?
Yeah,
It should be applicable first of
yeah.
all. So right click on this using all using related data sources. Right? Now you got it here. Show filter.
No, if the tables are different tables, now these two tables are same, right? Sample superstore data is
Okay,
same.
I got your point. The
Yeah.
reason this is happening is because the reason is in edit blend relationships, actually it is taking everything. Now I got your point as you want subcategory to be applied on the other sheet. Now my next question is in the other table, do you have the same dimension which is having filter?
Yes, I have.
Then like you are saying, here I have subcategory. Is this subcategory? So you mean to say here also I have a subcategory, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
So yeah, then obviously the dimension is present, right? Now it will get applied if you use related data source.
Or we can use the selected sheet also, right?
I didn't get you. Select what?
In the sharing option, selected sheets
Yeah,
option
even
is
that you can take.
there
Apply
is
to
no
your.
change in the data, right? There is no effect.
No,
Any sheet is
there
affecting in
there
the
will be
data.
no effect. There will be no effect. I'm just taking sheet. Okay, this is in sheet 14. I'm going to go to sheet 13. Now here, apply to worksheet, selected worksheet. None. I'm applying it only to the 14 one. Okay. See, I understood your doubt. Here, your doubt is when I'm using this, will that same filter get applied here or not? So
Yeah.
whenever you are using your blending, right, there is certain dimension that you are using in that. So whenever you are using that dimension, the main and the important point is the filter that you are using should be a linking field.
Mm-hmm.
Got my point? If it is a linking field, then only the filter will apply. And there is much depth into it. I'm not going into that depth, but I'm superficially telling you because that will goes to a 2 hours discussion. That's a different thing. But here the linking field, if there is no linking field, right? If there is no linking field and if you want to filter that when the blending is happening, Tableau will, this data source, this is my primary because this is blue tick, this is my secondary because this is the orange tick. My blue tick data source, which is primary, will communicate with the orange tick data source only based on the linking field. Other than that, it will not. So if your filter is based on the linking field, then yeah, definitely it will work. I can assure you that.
Okay, if the field is not the linking field, then there is any effect on the data.
Yeah, the results are not accurate. Now let me go and apply the customer name here, not this field, sorry. So I'm bringing my customer name in here. Now again, I'm going to the selected worksheets. See, first thing is it is not showing sheet 14. This is not high. This is not active. You see, you getting that point?
Yeah, in sheet 14 also customer name is there, right? Maybe
No,
it is not
this
taken into the filter, I think.
no. That is what I'm
Can you
saying.
take that filter into the customer name into the filter?
Yeah,
Now
that is
it
what.
will come.
Sorry,
No, in
customer name is
14.
already in the filter.
14.
I am trying. Okay, okay. I took it here. Right. Okay. Now you are not getting selected sheets.
Maybe from sheet 13 it will get.
That is what even from sheet 13 we tried, right? See, you are not getting the point.
Okay.
Here, why are we not getting the selected sheets? Because using sample superstore data, sample superstore 2, you have only one sheet. Okay. So that is why you are not getting. If I create another sheet from here, I'm just dragging segment. I'm not doing anything here. Now you got selected options. Because via customer name, it cannot identify anything in Superstore because the linking field is not customer name. Okay? Blending is a very fickle concept. Blending is very fickle.
No, is there any other way to do
No,
when
if
we
there
are
is no dimension that is see, if you want to filter by customer name, in this is your customer name is present in here. You want to filter on this by customer name. Now, when a field called customer name should go and communicate with this, it has to identify the rows of that customer, right? If there is no row to identify that customer, what is it going to filter? You got my point?
Yeah, a little bit, not that much.
See, it is like here you are saying you want to apply customer name, right? Apply customer name of sample superstore data to on sample superstore. But the
Yes.
linking field is only subcategory. Now, when you
Mm.
are doing that, now just tell me one thing. I'm taking a very new sheet. I'm just dragging in, I'm going in here. I'm just dragging my customer name and I'm just dragging my sales. Right? And I'm showing this filter subcategory. Now, when I uncheck this, when I unchecked all this, when I click this, what is happening in the background? What is happening in the background? In my data, right? In my data, whatever belongs to this in this subcategory column, right? In this subcategory column, wherever these accessories are there,
Mm.
they are identified, right? Their sales value is shown wherever whatever you are seeing here.
Yeah.
Do you agree to that?
Yes.
Now, imagine for these two, the only communication, the only communication, these two are like the cities where there is only one bridge called subcategory. There is a river in between, there are two cities, the bridge
Mm.
is called subcategory.
Mm.
Now, can you identify the rows in there based on the customer name from other data source? Just like we did in here? We can't, right? Because the
Yeah.
link field is not customer name. So that is why the filter is not applicable.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any chance
So
of
that is,
multiple linking fields are there for
you
two?
can, but is that customer name field present in the other data source also?
Yeah.
Then yeah, you can. So here I am going data, edit blend relationships, add customer name, and here also customer name. Okay. And now I'm getting, earlier we didn't used to get this, right? You remember?
Yes.
Now this customer name will get applied.
Mm-hmm. Like
Or
that, we
you
can
can
do
even,
any number of fields.
yeah,
If
yeah,
it,
any number.
if fields are both in both tables.
Yeah, the field should be in the both data sources.
And also we can do the first one is the context filter, and if it is related only, then we can do at the level of context. For context filter also we can able to share, right?
Yeah, I'm doing that, right?
Yeah.
Rajeshwar, no, before that in that filters, before customer name and subcategory, there is some icons, right? What is referring there?
See, this is saying related data source. The data, there is a data source and it is applying to another related data source. This is saying that this is created on worksheet and it is applied to another worksheet, because here what we did is selected worksheets. So that is why it is showing that way. Now here what we took is all using related data sources. Now see if it is one data source, again single data source is coming, right? If it is only this worksheet, nothing will come. Okay, so it is saying there are two data sources in present, so the data sources are related and one is getting applied on the other data source. Okay, so yeah,
And also
Can't
when
we?
we are joining the tables from the different schemas at the data source level, so
Mhm.
we have to get so the main linking field or the common field in both the tables from the
Joining field, yeah, when you are
joining
doing
field.
joins you need the joining field, yes.
Joining field, we have to get that one from the data team only, or how can normally?
See, that first thing is joining field is not usually defined by us. The reason is there is something called a normalization that happens when a database is created, right? When
Mm.
that normalization of data is happened, it will happen generally based on a primary key and foreign key.
Yeah.
That is how this relational databases work, based on the relation between primary key and foreign key. So whenever someone asks you to join two tables, first thing that you need to understand is the granularity of the data. Which are the fields that are defining the row level records? Generally, it will be a primary key or a unique key. So if your data team is giving that, then you need to ask them about this primary key and or unique key, and based on that, if you are joining in the other table, so what is the joining field between these two? That is where you will get the correct granularity. Otherwise, there's a Cartesian product. Now let me show you that by an example. Now here we did the join, right? Here, let me type here whatever number of rows are there, you can see them, right? Now here I'm saying 10,000. So there's a slight duplication. 9994 should be the rate, but we are getting somewhere around 416 records extra. Now here I am going and opening this, and in this I am removing this product ID. The moment I removed, you see the number of rows. Now I am removing this as well. Right? It is okay. It is asking for calculation. Here I am taking category, and here I am taking category. It is taking a lot of time because a Cartesian product is being formed. A category from one table is all the rows that are, you have only 3 categories, right? So all the rows from every category are joining from all the rows having the same category. Suppose there are some 300 of 9994, 3000 are furniture, 3000 are office supplies, and 3000 are technology. Remaining are technologies. Then 3000 records should go and join with 3000 records. So it is almost, it is like the data is getting extrapolated. So now here my point is, unless until you catch that joining key perfectly, your data is going to explode. So you need to get the joining key which defines the granularity at the level which you want to connect with the other data source. Only then you can get it properly. Okay.
Yeah, Rashwar, in the left side, if it is normally if data source is there, we have multiple schemas will come, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can join the tables from the multiple schemas.
If you have access, if you have permission to that, yes, you can.
Okay, and we have to know the joining field answer.
Yeah, joining field also you should know.
Okay. Normally, data team will provide the diagram flow diagram in order to know
that is where data modeling should be given, but it is not a common practice that they give. But normally, whenever they give a data, it is a good practice to get the data model diagram of that.
Yes, yes.
But is it being followed? I can't promise that.
Yeah. But when we have a doubt, we have to ask them, right?
Definitely, they are the creators of it. If not creator, whom we will ask, right?
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay, let me change this. I'm getting huge data. You see that, right? Almost more than 10 lakh rows of data I got. Yeah, any other doubts, guys?
Hi, Rayapati. But thank you for doing the session. I have one doubt. Suppose I'm creating a Gantt chart where I want to show multiple measures for same dimension. Suppose I'm showing sales for this year, difference between this last year and this year.
Okay.
That way, I want to show the difference of sales and profit. That way, I'm having multiple measures for any dimension. How can I show that using Gantt chart?
Wait, let me get your point. I'm just closing this. I just don't want this data. So you mean to say, okay, let me drag first sales and then profit, right? And I have certain dimension. I'm bringing category. We have only 3 categories, right? So you mean to say which of them is Gantt now?
Sorry, repeat again.
Which is Gantt? Which is that you want to show as Gantt?
Sales and profit.
Sales and profit both as Gantt. Okay.
Yeah, both in same Gantt chart.
I didn't get you. What are you trying to like? What is the output? What is the expected output?
Uh, Difference between this, like suppose sales in this year, difference the previous year. I want to show using Gantt chart sales and profit
Wait,
of both
you
the measures.
want to show Gantt chart of the difference of sales of previous year and this year.
Yes.
Okay. No, generally I think. Let me write here.
Sorry, Rajesh, actually, can I ask a question in a related one? What is the significance of Gantt chart actually?
Gantt chart shows you the relative difference. When I complete this, you'll get that clarity. If I'm successful, I'm just trying to address what she says. I'm not using profit as of now. I'm just taking sales. Putting this in size. Yeah, I think
Okay. I want to bring the context that I'm coming from. Like, I just want to give some background. Suppose I'm doing a graph, Gantt chart for jobs that are running. So, for any job, there has to be actual time and expected time it to run, right? So, I'm having a difference between the actual end time and the start time, and
okay.
also expected start time and end time. That is the difference. So, those are the measures for me in the graph. For
Okay.
those measures, I have to show the difference and compare both end time and start time, right? So that is from where I'm coming, and just wanted to, like, since you have this
Yeah,
data.
so that is what you have. You can use this as your end time, right?
Yeah.
Now you can get the difference between start time and end time, and you can put that in size. This will show you the amount of time taken. Now, someone has asked what is the significance of Gantt chart, right? Now, see here, rather than this, like when you have a flow, generally this is used in waterfall charts. Like, what is a waterfall chart? When one thing ends, the other thing starts, right? Like we generally have a head count. Generally, there is something called a starting head count, and there is something called new hires, because head count is the number of persons working in the organization. So the starting head count, the new hires, interns. New hires is new people that are hired. Interns is the interns that the company get. Transfer in is the people moved from one department to other department. So when there is a transfer in, obviously there is a transfer out. So the number of transfer outs, and then something called an attrition who left the organization, and then something called as closing headcount. So see, everything here is related. So now the Gantt will show, like using the same size object, we used to show how these are going to affect. Like, this is my opening head count. Then the new hires, we are not going to show the total bar for new hires, but only the increase above the, whenever this here, if it my opening head count starts here, imagine, then we used to show from here there will be an increase in the, what do you say, size, showing these number of the people are the new hires. And then comes interns. Again, transferring is again a upward one thing like this. But again, when it is transfer out, it is a downward bar because it is negative, right? Transfer out is negative. So that is how we used to use a waterfall chart. And for that waterfall chart, we use Gantt chart. So that is one question. The second question, coming to what you have asked. Now, if you want to show that start time and end time, now you can base your graph on your end time, and on that you can use the size object as a difference of the start and end time, and you can plot it on this to get what is the duration. Now your focus is on duration, right? When I put the difference
Yes.
between start and end on the size, then you'll get the duration.
Yeah.
You got my point?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, if you have any other doubts related to that, you can clearly ask. No problem. Okay. Any other doubts, guys? Yes,
So
before going, just a
basically,
second, just a second. We also have a mobile app. Actually, I forgot to tell you that. Go to Google Play Store. Right? Google Play Store, there is something called, now search on either Tableau training or Rayapati Analytics. Ooh, Tableau is not present. Tableau training or Rayapati Analytics, then you will get this mobile app. Okay? Yeah. So someone was asking some doubt.
so actually, what I know is while we use Gantt chart for, if at all there is any uh, intersection between the two time slots, like for suppose there is we will consider a data, um, a doctor and hospital data. So a doctor is having a respective time noted in the which denotes the area of the Gantt, and duration. And if in between that time, if there is another
Yeah, you mean to say the overlapping that shows
yeah,
that.
overlap, exactly, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, yeah. See, again, you are coming to the same point, duration, right? If he has a certain meeting and his meeting is between some 9:30 to 10:30, it is 30 minutes. So it is showing that 30 minutes as a Gantt chart. Now from 10 to 10:30, there should be another meeting. But if that by somehow it is preponed to 15 minutes before, right? Then again, there is an overlap. That is because of the duration overlap, which supposed to have happened after 10 o'clock is now happening at 9:45,
Uh,
right?
can you demonstrate it with the example? Actually,
To demonstrate that, I don't, that for that, you need to have specific data. Now I have my order date. For that to show you, I don't have any. See, that again comes with the data. Let me bring sales. Let me make this as a Canva. Know how to show this. Not clear, but I'll try. Now, if you see here, this is overlapping on this.
yeah,
So obviously, because now let imagine that this is the duration that a doctor is having,
okay.
right? Now here, this is overlapping on this because let me move this side first.
Maybe we can change rows and columns so that it will
No,
be,
even if it rows and columns also is. Yeah.
yeah,
Now, if you see here, the doctor's meeting has started, and
yes,
parallelly someone else has started a meeting. This might be a patient meeting, and this might be some group appointment,
yeah,
right? This group appointment might run, but he cannot deny the patient. So it's not that they cannot run parallel. He can be present in here, but he can still attend his patient. So there is a parallel appointment that is run.
yes, yes,
Okay. Now
yeah,
actually I can even manipulate this a bit. Now this is exactly what you are saying, right?
yeah, exactly,
Appointment, there's an overlap, there is another appointment, there is another appointment.
yeah,
This clearly should. Okay.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Any other doubts, guys? Any comments?
Hi, Rayapati. Tamil
Right.
here. Yeah. So I have two doubts. So one will be on the bar level. So there is a bar chart with different measures. So the different measures in the sense means like one will be the sales bar and the other will be profit and profit margin like that. So if I want to commonly take the value, some parameter value. So in that parameter value, how I can dynamically show if it is above is in some different range, then it is in high some different color, and below is in some different color.
I
So how
think
it is?
Kalpana is there. Okay. So you mean to say, okay, let me try category here. And you have your sales, you have your profit. Okay, so what is it that you want to show?
So particularly mostly the I think that the dimension will be not present. Only the measures will be there. Like each measure will be contains a separate bar. Like sales will be one bar, and next year that second bar will be
Okay, you
something.
mean to say this, just a minute. You mean to say this one, right? Let me- This one?
Yeah, like this will be. So now here only we having only the measure values. So here we want to parameter like the dynamic parameter. We are giving one constant value. With that constant value, how we can make it like if we change that value based on that, it should act. The above should be in some green color and below should be in some.
You want to add colors to these.
Yes. In
Oh,
dynamic way.
values to colors. Separate legends for that. Not sure if we can dynamically change the colors because you don't have.
Using parameter, we will fixing some point. Like we can take that as a constant.
No, the
So
problem is even if you have the parameter, measure values and measure names are not allowed in the calculations. So here individually, yeah, you can define the colors for it. Individually, you can define a color for it. But dynamically representing them only using measure values and measure name based on the measure values and measure names.
I think Rajesh, we can do like by using calculation field, like if the percentage of, I mean, if 10 above, then it should be green. If it is 90 above, it should be red or something like that, right? We can do that.
So you want to say sum of profit greater than zero. If I bring this to color,
So
now
it will
here
be, but yeah,
we are not getting that because see here whatever you are bringing the quality of or I can say both quality and a drawback for measure values and measure names is because whatever they are getting you here is at a data source level, whatever the value that you're getting. You might filter it anyways, but the values that you are getting are at the data resource level. So for any logic that you write, right, any if else logic. Now here I'm taking a new sheet. I'm bringing any cat or let me bring subcategory because for that there is I think there is a negative sales, negative profit, sorry. Yeah, there is negative profit. Now, if I bring my calculation 3 here to color, right? Now it has some point, right? Now for certain rows, when it is identified as accessories, for accessories, if sum of profit is greater than zero, it is going to represent is an green color. Even I can change that to green color. Because this is applicable to only few rows. By that I mean if you go into the data source and see if there is something called as subcategory, right? Subcategory. For that, if it adds all the bookcases here in the profit and the output, the total aggregation of all the bookcases, if it is greater than zero, it will give you green. Less than zero, it will give you red. But coming here, the problem is whatever value that you are seeing here is an aggregation of all the rows that is present. Sales is an aggregation of all the rows that is present in this database. Again, the same way, the quantity is also an aggregation of all the rows that is present. So any if-else logic cannot specifically work on any dimension. Sorry,
Yeah,
any measure here. So that
that's
is
right.
you cannot dynamically change that. But yeah, there is one way which is a complicated way where you can write one measure in one sheet and you can then attach them to make look something like this. By that I mean here I'm just taking sales, right? Again, I'm duplicating this. Here, rather than sales, I'm taking profit, right? I'm taking a dash and I'm taking a container here. And in this container, I'm dragging 90 and 90. Right? Now you can write your condition individually on profit, individually on sale, and you can show that how you are showing all the measures. Like if I say,
Okay.
if I come here, where here it is profit, right? I can write this and I can get the color.
Okay, because I thought like it is all that measures in the single bar, but I want on common parameter because the user is taking some KPI value. They are fixing some percentage.
Yeah,
Is that
you can
all?
do that, but the only way is taking two sheets and doing that.
Mhm. Okay.
Measure values, see, the problem is measure values and measure names, you can only use them for representational and filtering purposes, filtering the measures purposes, but you cannot use them in your calculations, logics.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Rajeshwar. And my second doubt will be like, so, uh, so in your project, Rajeshwar, like, did you ever created a gauge chart for KPI progress?
Gauge chart was gauge chart is hard,
Yeah.
literally hard.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Because see, gauge chart, I tried a lot to understand the logic behind it.
Yes.
It is too complicated. I'm not saying there's no logic for me, but I tried to understand the logic behind. I was successfully able to understand the logic behind radial bar charts, but gauge charts, to be frank, I haven't yet tried to solve the logic. There's a certain process where you create for below 50%, you'll create one calculation. Above 50%, you'll create one calculation. And then there are two calculations for the needles and one calculation. I'm not sure. There are five calculations in total in that.
Okay. Okay.
And
But it is okay.
there are YouTube videos that you should follow exact same process. I tried many other ways, but only the exact same process you are getting the gauge.
Okay, okay. Because they are doing some changes in the data source as well. They are preparing something specifically for
No, no,
getting
no,
that.
no. In my data, in my project, I used a gauge chart with the data that I have.
Okay, okay.
But whatever we are doing, generally, see, I always go behind this question like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Without that, I generally don't answer anything. But yeah, gauge chart, I have to sit on it. It is too complicated. I sat on it for a while, but I couldn't. What do you say? Uh, Break the logic. But yeah,
Okay.
somewhere down the line, I'll try to definitely do that.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah. If you have time, you can post it in separate
Definitely,
video.
definitely. If I break the logic, I'll definitely post it on YouTube.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ramesh.
Yeah, hi Rajeshwar. I have text table is there. Can you drag some dimensions into the rows?
Okay, let me drag category. Yeah.
Two more like.
Okay, segment and ship mode.
I have filter for the same.
Filter for?
Filter for same category segment.
Okay.
So when I'm showing the custom filter or any other filter, custom filter.
Context filter?
No. Custom in the selection it is there. Maybe in the right side in the multiple values custom list is there.
Okay, multiple values custom list. Okay.
All are the same. If I'm selecting, okay.
Okay.
If I'm selecting any field like that in the ship mode same day, if I'm select that filter, apply that. So okay, if I remove this filter, and I don't want entire data. I null, it has to show null, because whenever I apply anything, then only it has to show the data. Otherwise, it has to be blank.
Okay, you mean to say if you are showing all the data, then it should show null. Okay, if there is no data here, it should show null.
Yeah.
And the moment if someone is putting the data here, he will get that.
Yeah.
And if you remove the data, it should again go back to becoming null.
Yeah, it has to be blank because no value is selected, right? That's why it has to show blank.
It works in a different way, right? Not okay. I think perfect. You got it.
What? How?
Let me see. Yeah, perfect. Thank you for this. I didn't even know this existed. Now see, if there is nothing in the drop down, you have include all values one empty. When you say this, it is including all the values. And if you uncheck this,
okay,
it's not giving you any value. Simple.
Yeah, if we select, if we segment, okay, other than ship mode, if we done any segment in this, select any value in segment.
First segment.
Yeah.
Okay. Segment is what segments do you have?
Or else category, no problem.
Consumer, corporate.
Furniture.
Now you
Kalpana, you are there.
Yeah, select that
Yes.
one.
Okay, you mean to say here it is
Now
not.
data is not showing. Yeah, that is the problem.
Okay, now. Okay.
When we enable that one only, then data is showing. If it is not enabled, data will not show. Even if we select any field also.
Just okay, one thing is if okay, just one thing is, but again parameter. My point is we can replace the same with parameter and we can do it. But again, the problem is this box will not come. Like when you type in same day, right? This is coming. This option will not be there. He has to manually type the value. By that I mean he need to know that that value is present. Else. There is one thing that we can do, but it is too complicated. moment, guys. I'm trying to.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure. As it is taking a lot of time, I think we can create a
yeah.
video, we upload it later.
Okay.
Because
I will work on this and I'll, yeah, we can try to upload a video on this later. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And can you go to dashboard once? Normal dashboard. Yeah. Can you click on extensions? Double click on it. Normally here the some charts are also visible, right? What exactly the usage of this one, and also some some charts are also visible ahead in
See,
this in
here
the
using
subs.
these extensions, see this network analysis or whatever they're using here. These are the charts where they have put all the logics in there, just like an extension that you can have. And you using these charts, you can directly start using all these
Yeah,
charts.
yeah, that's right. Some advanced charts,
Yeah,
butterfly
you
chart, and
need
all
not
those things are there,
work,
right?
yeah, you need not work on how to create these charts. You can just download this extension and start using these charts.
Is there any option to search for particular chart here in this one?
I'm not sure, but yeah, there is an option to you can browse all the topic charts, right? So you can always search for it. You can search for it here.
Butterfly chart like that.
Butterflies directly you can. I'm not sure. Not matching it. But yeah, you can advanced analytics. There are certain categories here. So this formatting, many are there. Natural language generation, performance insight, customized filters. There are many options are there. So I don't know if what based on your requirement you can select here. Like what is that? The other is some. There might be other chart. I'm not getting, but yeah,
Okay, customized filters means we can get the any different types of filters or filters, different types of filters.
yeah. There are types of filters where you can use the range picker. Then generally you will get this range picker like calendar that you get, right? That's how.
Okay.
These are just parameter actions. See, these are just like they are using the current features of Tableau and they are using certain other aspects of it and making it ready for consumption. That's it.
Mm. That one we have to download and we have to use
Yeah,
this
you
one.
have to download and you have to use. You have to add to dashboard and you
Okay.
have to use. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, any other doubts, guys? Someone God chart. Yeah. Okay. Any other doubts, guys?
Hi Rajeshwar, this is Lakshmi.
Hi, Lakshmi. Can you speak a bit loud? Your voice is not audible.
Yeah, previously in the previous session, I asked a doubt regarding this doubt, right? Scatter plot and one more.
Yeah, that scatter plot and clusterization,
Box and
clustering,
whisker. Yeah, yeah,
clustering.
clustering and one more thing I asked you, box and whisker plot, right?
All right, box and whisker. Excuse me for this time. Next time I'll just come prepared on that. I'll
Okay,
make
okay,
a
sure.
note of it right now. Actually,
Okay,
I forgot to work on that.
okay, sure.
Okay, I'll work on box and whisker plots and
And one more doubt is, suppose if I have used a my table in one of the dashboard
okay.
and I want to reuse my the table in another dashboard.
Can you come again?
I am creating one dashboard.
Okay.
In the dashboard, so we will connect to in the data source, right? Different tables.
Okay.
So suppose I have a order table in the using that order table and other tables, I have created a dashboard. And after that, I want to create another dashboard. In the dashboard, I want to use I want to use that order table. So in another data source, how can we do that?
Again, leave the dashboard outside. You have a table.
And I want to reuse that table in the multiple dashboards. That's
You
the
can use that. You can use that.
So how it is possible?
See here, how many other dashboards I create, right? All these dashboards are based on my data. So data and dashboard, they don't have any connection. Data is where you get, and dashboard is what you create.
Yeah.
You can create how many other dashboards that you want.
So what I mean is, how can I reuse the table in different data sources?
The table that you are connecting,
yeah,
you can use joins or blending. You can use join and blending. You can use that, right? I'm not actually getting your point.
Okay.
For that, with this Surabhi, right? For that, you can extract it and publish it into Tableau server. Then you can use it from multiple workbooks and multiple data sources, right? There is an option.
Okay. After publish, after so.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you create an extract for that particular table or particular data source, just publish it into Tableau server. Then you can again reconnect to any number of workbooks.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, that is also option. See, once you extract the data, then it will all populated to all the dashboards, right?
Yeah. Got it.
I think I cleared your doubt. If not, please let me know.
Yeah. I got it.
Yeah. Thank you, Prashant.
And one more thing, how can we say that in a year, how much large amount of data you have worked for that answer?
Doesn't depend. Large amount of
It
data.
depends upon your project and environment, right? So larger data means it's maybe very big, very very less. It depends upon your project.
Sometimes.
I answer. Someone is asking me, not I told that the same thing. It's depend on our project, but exactly if they ask little bit, minimum thing.
See, I can answer that to some extent, not to the full extent. Now, if you see financial data when it starts, when someone mute, I'm getting very sound. Okay. When I'm using my data, actually for month of January there will be only some amount of actual data, and when it is February, the data will increase, right? As the month is coming up, the data, the amount of records that you get, the size of the data, like, and in the start of the year it might be 2 million 2 million rows of data. If I'm talking about actuals, 2 millions of data, and by the end of the year it might reach up to 10 millions of data. But are you taking 10 millions of 10 million rows every time? Like, whenever you refresh, it is first it is 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. Are you doing that? Again, it depends on whether you are doing full refresh or incremental refresh. Now, if it is full refresh, it will remove all the rows and it will load 2 million rows or 10 million rows at any given point of time. But if it is an incremental refresh, whatever the new amount of rows that he gets, and I think in the question he asked, how many rows you got at some point in your data, right? So that if that is what he's asking, then you can clearly tell him that. So if your data source is incremental, so in every incremental refresh, how many rows of data you are getting? And it again depends on the data source, that year's performance, the number of record entry. And in mine, I have seen somewhere around 50-60,000 rows of data get adds if we are using for an incremental refresh. But we generally do it both the refreshes, incremental refresh as well as full refresh, because if there is any change Now backdated change is there, then we go for an full refresh. If there is no backdated change, then we go for an incremental refresh. And that will define how many records we are getting. If it is a full refresh, it will remove all the records and bring all the 2 million or 10 million, whatever. If it is incremental, it will only bring the new records. Might be 50,000, 1 million, or 2 million.
That means columns, newly added columns will not come, right?
Not
While
columns,
incremental
rows.
refresh.
Rows.
Only rows will come. Newly added columns will not come in the incremental
If you
refresh.
want to have newly added columns, then full refresh.
Full refresh.
Yeah. Columns cannot be added when it is an incremental refresh.
Okay. And also, what are the instances that scheduling of refresh will fail? And how do we act on
One thing I have seen, I think Prasad is the one who should answer that. Prasad?
Yeah, actually, that is depends upon so many scenarios. If it is not password is not embedded, if data connection is failed, if you are using online connections like Google, GCP, or Excel sheets, which is published in online, so maybe the file may be missed. So many scenarios are there. There is error description will be there every time when it is failing. So accordingly, you have to act like what was the issue, and they briefly explain that what
so
was the scenario.
data connection failing means it is related to the data team, and whom we have to complain to that one.
We have to complain, but we have to check whether we are able to connect manually or not. Then only we can check it, right? If we are not able to connect manually, then yeah, that is definitely for our issue. Maybe some regions, if it is Oracle data, some deadlocks will be happen to that particular user ID sometimes. Maybe you see in company policies there will be a scenario like if user ID password will be expire every 3 months or 4 months, right? I mean for some companies there will be a scenario like that. Every 3 months you have to change your password. Maybe Windows or Unix, whatever, Oracle, whatever it might be, for every account. So in that time, maybe password expire or password maybe not embedded. Yeah, we have to act. We have to work with DB team. Then only we can reset the password, and we are able to connect the data. So then we can publish it. If it is not from our issue, then we need to check with DB team why it is not happening. Maybe some column may be mismatched. Maybe whatever they're connecting in dashboard, right? Maybe they're using some filters or something like that. In that filters, maybe whatever the columns they are using it, maybe the name has been changed, column has been deleted from data side. In that case, we have to check with DB team.
Normally, we have to complain to the server admin or directly.
We have to complain to server admin first, then only we will reach out to DB team.
Okay.
And I think two more instances that I think I have seen and I can add is generally in our there is a database timeout issue. Timeout issue is generally when you are connecting to database, there will be like if the refresh should happen in the 30 minutes or 1 hour. If it is not happening, it is terminated. That is
for that Rajeshwar, generally they'll put it like 3 hours or more. I mean, there are option is called, right? 3 hours maximum threshold time is 3 hours. If it is more than that, if time is exceeded, then it will be failed because of server load or server load or something like that. That will be exceeded. If you run that same extract job on non-traffic time, like where the extracts are very less. Number of extracts are running on that server, and if in that time you can run that extract and it will be get success. If you are running that on peak time, if the time is exceeded, then it will be failed.
So where can we put the threshold? That one
threshold that will be placed. That will be maintained by server admin actually.
Okay. And also one more option, priority is there. So normally
priority. See, number of jobs are running right on server side, extract side. So if you give, suppose they say 5 jobs are there generally. For that 5 jobs, their starting time is 6 a.m. or something like that. For 5 jobs, in that 5 jobs, you put some priority like for one of the job like 1 or 2. If you put that priority, then in that 5 jobs, the first priority will goes to that priority 1. Do you understand?
Yeah. Normally in the
there
Tableau default it is 50, I think.
it is always 50. If you want change anything, you see, in 50, in a particular time you can run 50 jobs. For that, if the server is load is very high, that will be in pending status. Do you remember that? There is a status called pending status. That means if the server is busy, then it will wait. It is waiting for some more jobs to complete. Then only it will take that whatever the queued jobs are there. If you put the priority as 1 or 2 or something like that, what are the pending jobs are there, the priority is taking as a first one. Like if you put the priority is 1, or what is the maximum number, like 1, if you put a 1, then it will go first. The remaining jobs will be wait until that one is completed.
So it is better to put 1 or 2 like that, or we have to take any permission from the server admin? There are some other
No,
jobs
not like
available.
that. See, it is totally depends upon server admin and your development team. They have to decide that. Like if the number of jobs are running in particular time, yeah, that needs to be completed first one. Then you have to take a call like first one, first priority. That is organizational thinking.
No, we have to ask the server admin. We have to discuss
Yeah,
before putting the number.
we have to check with the server admin. Then he will guide you.
Okay, thank
you. Yeah.
Okay. In the chat, someone has asked order of operations.
Order of, sorry?
No, this is Tableau related. Desktop.
Okay. Carry on.
So yeah, so someone has asked order of operations. It is about how the filters work, right? Which filter has the highest priority? Exact extract filter, data source filter, context filters, and after context filter, there is something like people say, right? Fixed LOD is affected only by these 3 filters. So how each filter will affect? That is how this order of operations is designed. Once I'm putting this in the chat, once if you can read this, you'll get full clarity.
Rayapati, as relationships are came, so performance wise, which is better, joins or relationships?
Tricky question actually. Basically, each table is maintained at its own level of granularity. So now in joins, there is one table that is created. Right? After a join, the output of a table, there is a one table that is created when it is joined. But when it is a relationship, there are more than one table. Now, so when it is a join, it only has to reach out to one table, get the data, show you. No, I'm not talking about the duplication, the granularity, all that, the joins that I'm not talking. I'm talking only pure performance aspect. Now, whatever is the table, it can see. Tableau is a columnar database. So when it is a columnar database, even if the data is huge, it is easy for it to access the data and give you the result compared to other relational data sources. Now, when you come to relationships, the tables are maintained at their own level of granularity. So every table has its own records and other table has its own records. Now, based on what you do in the view, it has to join that. The joining will happen at the view level. So it will join that and give you the data. Now here, to be frank, every type has its own advantage, because when you are using a join, you are creating an extract and publishing it to the server. From there, you are getting it. That way, it is better. But even for one table, if suppose there are 4 tables, even for one table, you are joining the 4 tables and you are getting data from those 4 tables in the joins and you are using it. But when it is relationships, it is only getting the data from that required table or those required tables. If you are using 2 tables in a view, it is getting data from those two required tables. So whenever you use a filter or something, it is hitting only those 2 tables and it is getting the data. Now imagine a table has 1000 rows and the other table has some 100 rows, and there is a duplication which is resulting in 10,000 rows. Now if it is a join, it should go hit the 10,000 rows and it should get the data. But when it is relationship, it should hit this 10,000 rows if you are getting only one table, or if it is 100 rows if you are going for the other table. So on an overall aspect, if you see at a dashboard level or something, relationships are much better than joins. But Yeah, if there are like this will show an actual effect when there are more tables in relationships and more tables in joins, because when you are using joins with more tables, there is a data explosion that happens in joins, but in relationships it doesn't. Did I clear your doubt or confuse you?
No, got it. So it
Got
depends
it.
upon, totally depends upon the view.
Yeah, it again depends on your tables, data, and many other things.
Yeah.
Because see, end of the day, it is not, there are two aspects. Whenever you build a dashboard, there are two aspects. One is the dashboard rendering, the dashboard that is being rendered. Major aspects I'm taking. It is going to the database, getting the data, rendering that. Second thing is filtering. Now, rendering is one issue. Filtering is it should go to the database, get the data, and show you. So now the actual performance between join and blending, join and relationships, as far as you see, comes majorly with filtering. Because even when you see relationships, there is more detail into it where how filters act. If you use only the sheet on which you apply filter, right, and you can share that filter to other sheets, when you apply, then only that table is queried. If you use more than one table with the measures in it, then a join is created and then the tables are queried. Well, even in relationships, there is a process that you have to follow. Otherwise, again, that might lead to performance issues. So for that, if you want to clearly understand, then I suggest you read this. Actually, I think many of you know that relationships by Tableau part. So this is part 1, part 2, and part 3. This is part 1. This is part 2. And this is part 3. So read these 3 parts and try to understand the relationships. So if you follow how Tableau has shown you in these 3 parts, then yes, relationships are faster and effective than that of joins. Okay?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any doubts, guys?
Yeah, hi, Rajeshwar. Yeah, I have a small doubt.
Yeah.
For suppose in our data sets there is a null values and duplicate values.
Mm-hmm.
We will work on it by using calculate fields, right?
Mm-hmm.
But can we visualize that directly? In Kibana there is an option. If we try to connect to the database, it will show the percentages of the different type of things. On the different type, like 60% of string values and 25% of integer values, and the remaining all belongs to the float value. Something like that. Can we visualize such kind of things? If there is any null or duplicates, we can directly show the percentage of in the total data set. There is 10% of null values and 20% of duplicate, and remaining is a unique data, something like that.
Okay. Now let me address you to the way I understood that. Now, if you see, if I'm dragging, I generally do this. Just a second, please. Let me get that data. Okay, let me show this here. Now, if you see, to get whether there is a duplication or not. Actually, in this data also we have a duplicate. As I told you, order ID and product name should be the unique. Should give you the unique level of data. It is giving 9986, but it should give 9994. But the problem is for these combinations, there is some duplication happening for some order. There is same product which is bought, which is entered 2 times in the same order. So to get that, what am I doing is I'm catch holding of order and product name, and I'm creating a combined field. Right now, after creating this combined field, I'm dragging this in here, and now I'm dragging my orders count to text. Right? Now everything is showing you 1, but somewhere it will show you more than 1. Now let me bring this orders count in here, and I'm just using apply. See, these are those orders. So in this order, there is some duplication happened. So that is why. Let me bring my order ID here, and then bring my product name. Right? I'm bringing this into the end to understand. So in these orders, this duplication happened at these products levels. These products have two, what do you say? Let me bring row ID. Yeah, I'm hiding. I'm bringing this here. Okay. I'm not sure why is this word is not affecting, but see here there is certain duplication that happened regarding this product name. So Xerox 1881 is present 2 times. Let me do one thing. Let me drag sales. And now here I'm going in and aggregating measures. Okay, now let me remove this. Okay, this is a problem again. I cannot use it on this screen. But if I'm doing sales, and if you see here, I cannot use this. But anyways, there is a duplication that is happening. How did I find this? I found this by dragging that dimension and dragging the this field called orders count. Now this is how I found that okay, there is certain duplications happening in your database. You can join, you can bring the joining field, right? Now the joining field or certain field on which you feel that there is a duplication that is happening, you can bring that field or a combination of the fields to find if the data duplication is happening. That is one way. The second thing is if you have a null in your data, then you can always write a calculation, right? If null or is null, you can identify those nulls and you can attach one value table. If null of, suppose there is no null, sir, but null, if I'm saying, okay, I'll do one. Let me write a calculation. I'm creating nulls here. If profit greater than 0, then profit, else. Using this, I'm creating a nulls. Right? Now I'm writing my calculation. If null of, right, profit, then 1. If profit is null, then 1, else 0. Okay, I have to, let me put as 1. Okay. Then let me write a calculation. If is null of profit, right, then 1, else 0. Okay. Let me click on apply. Okay, and I'm bringing this calculation. Okay. Okay, not profit. Just a moment. I created one calculation here. Profit with nulls. I should have used profit with nulls there. Rather than this, I'm using. Now I got 1936 as my nulls. So this is how we get the number of duplicates and the number of, what do you say, nulls. Did this solve your question?
No, yeah, it is okay when we want to show the value. what I want is to show it in visualization. Like
Even in visualization, you can show it.
Yeah, in a pie chart with the percentages. Yeah.
Okay. Now pie chart with percentages, you can show it. Now let me do one thing. Profit with null. Null values. Non-null values. Okay. Function, where is this INS? Yeah. Okay. Should be boolean. Is null. Is not values. Sorry. Is non-values. Okay. Now I'm bringing this in here, and I'm bringing this here. I'm a bit confused, but somewhere we can create a pie chart like this. Actually, non-null values, we didn't get it right. I think I'm a bit somewhere I'm stuck, but yeah, using this, we can get that. Yep. Now, if you see, this is showing null values and this is showing non-null values.
Yeah.
Right? All I did is I just wrote a calculation. What is this calculation? All I did is I wrote a calculation which says is null of this, then identify that as null, else I identify it as non. Okay, and I use count of orders because I'm talking at the level of number of rows, right? I need to get which how many rows are having nulls. That is why I used count of orders. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
Raj.
Yeah.
Rajesh, nowadays companies are asking ETL also. So which ETL tool is simple and more demand like?
A Tableau prep is better if you learn.
No, but
Tableau prep is relatively easy and you can get hands-on for free. Once it was Alteryx. Alteryx was used to be free. So people and companies used to use Alteryx, but Alteryx has now put pricing on it, and it is very huge, and there is no free version also. So currently, that I can see is either Informatica, but it's a bit tougher side, like not that tough, but yeah.
when
There is a
compared
lot
to
of
Alteryx, it is tough.
Alteryx, yeah, but Informatica is not tough, but the process is tough. There are many services that you have to install. The process of installation itself is very tough. In that doing, I worked I worked on Informatica for 6 months. Actually, generating transformations in that is not that complicated. But running jobs in it is a bit complicated. There are many services you have to, and there are certain processes that you have to run. There is complication on running end of that, but creating these workflows in that, it's very easy. And coming to the point of what do you say? Uh, coming to the point of Alteryx, Alteryx is actually a very good tool. It is not only related to ETL. Actually, it is related to data science, all other things, a bit higher end. But yeah, we use that as an ETL tool. But it has its pricing, and even its trainings are not that freely available because getting access on that tool is not easy. The other thing is Tableau Prep is good, and I don't know what other tools are there. But yeah, these can help. Work on Tableau Prep because many companies, because Tableau Prep is free of cost. If you have a desktop version, if you have a desktop license along with that, Tableau Prep is free. So it's better if you learn Tableau Prep if you are into the Tableau market.
Okay.
In a long term, better learn Informatica because Informatica is father of all ETL tools.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Is there any suggestible YouTube channel or anything is there for a
But one guy, Satish Yellanki, teaches on Informatica. You can
Satish?
Yellanki.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
And also you said that sequel videos will come in January.
Yeah, we are planning on that. We are planning for rather than live sessions because sometimes some people might be there, sometimes people might not be there. So we are planning for recorded videos, and we'll definitely provide that.
In this month only, in January.
Hopefully.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rajeshwar, where will you upload this video?
YouTube channel. My YouTube channel, right? But I think Srikanth has provided. This
Yeah.
video is present in my YouTube. Will be present in my YouTube channel, which is Rayapati. You can find it there. And also, there is something which Kalpana's YouTube channel is also there actually. She provides quite, like, she's very good with tips and tricks of Tableau. Her name is Rayapati Tableau. Okay. So this is her channel. You can visit her channel as well. Let me give you that as well.
No problem.
Okay. Yeah. So any other doubts?
Can you please share the link for Tab Informatica as well, Satish video?
Official link. I'm just putting it in the chat.
Rajeshwar, is there any time limit for extracting the data? Exact time limit
It
is
depends on, I think, Prasad.
Yeah,
Prasad.
it depends upon data source. Maybe if it is large data source, then we'll go for 1 hour, 2 hours. There is no time limit. We can set it, but yeah, it depends upon data source purely.
in Tableau, after the connecting to the tables or cross database join or any database joinings, after clicking on extract, it will show you one thing like it is loading, please wait. So, is there no time limit? You told me
There,
whatever you told, I understood, but 1 hour time is waiting time is it okay?
yeah, it is okay. If it is large data source, then it is okay. That's why it's extract. Meaning is that is the thing, right? If it is live connection, then we won't get from data, right? So that's why we are putting some schedules for that, right? So that is the reason for scheduling.
And one thing I understand is there are two things, right? If there is a time limit in your database, whenever you are doing an extract, if the database admins actually put some cutoffs, like half an hour or 1 hour something, if your extract is running for more than 1 hour, if they put that time limit as 1 hour, and if it is exceeded that 1 hour, then it will automatically get terminated.
Okay.
Even in, I think, from the server and also we can put that timing, right, Prasad? Like
Yes, yes,
whether an
yes.
extract will run maximum of half an hour or one. Because
Right,
in my
right, right,
company it is 30 minutes, half an hour.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. There is any doubts? And guys, one request from my side is if you really like this, please go to Trustpilot. It will help us establish credibility and bring more people to this and more doubts into it. Rayapati Analytics. Go to Rayapati Analytics and Trustpilot. Right. Please do provide your reviews in this. will help us reach to more people and get more, what do you say, more more people into this, so that you will get more doubts and your understanding in Tableau will be more, right? And also, please, if possible, please do write a LinkedIn post on this, on how this training went, so that it will reach to other people. Again, expanding this doubt session, the reach of this doubt session, as it expands, now this already expanded, so that is why we earlier it was monthly doubt session. Now we have started planning it for once in every 15 days, second Sunday of the month and fourth Sunday of the month. And if this expands again more, then we are even planning, we can even down the line, if this expands more, we can even plan for weekly doubt sessions, right? If there are enough crowd for that, right? So that is why please do write your review on this trustpilot.com, your honest review. Also, please do write a LinkedIn post about these doubt sessions, so that it will increase the number of reach of these doubt sessions, and it will help us address more doubts. Okay? Yeah. Any other doubts? Is any other doubts?
No, Rajesh, thanks.
Yeah, great. Then we had 2 hours of discussion, which is great. Yeah, if Srikanth has put in a comment, if you want regular updates, please do join that. Please do send me that connection request as well to my LinkedIn account, Rayapati, and please do subscribe to that my YouTube channel, as well as Kalpana's YouTube channel. And there's a Telegram group where you can join. In that Telegram group, you can join that Telegram group, where you can even put the notes, and also all the updates also they will be given there. Okay. And yeah, by tomorrow, most latest by tomorrow, you will get you'll get this recording tomorrow. By, I don't know, Srikanth is the one who has to tell that. Srikanth.
By tomorrow evening, we'll post this.
Okay. So yeah. So Srikanth is the one who organizes all this. So yeah, by tomorrow evening, we will definitely send this.
I request all to, like, if they are present in any of our social channels, they'll get the update regarding this. So that's why I have posted these links.
Yeah.
So if
whatever
not, it will be available by day after tomorrow, early morning itself.
Yeah. Okay. So you will get that session in that YouTube channel. Okay, great. So thank you all. It was a very exciting session and very good doubts actually. This week the doubts are pretty good. I really enjoyed these sessions. Thank you all for making this so enjoyable a session. And a special thanks to yeah.
Thank you so much to the team, and all the best for your Google app.
Yeah, thank you. And please do write a review on this and Trustpilot, and also please do talk about this on social media, so that we can reach more people. And I want to end this session by thanking especially Kalpana Rayapati, who has helped us in the design part. Actually, this week we have less design issues, although that is why Kalpana didn't participate that much. But yeah, last time it was totally her show. And Prasad, he's a server expert. If you have any server related queries or doubts, you can reach out to him. You can reach out to 912-1314333. I'm putting that number here. If you want to communicate with Prasad as well, you can use that number.
Yeah. You can use that number, and you can ping to Rajesh, then he'll share with me, and I'll try to contact with you guys. Yeah, thank you very much for your support. And
Srikanth. Srikanth, now last but not the least, Srikanth. Actually, the idea of making it 15 days is Srikanth. He's the one who pushed it. So yeah, again, thank you, Srikanth, for these sessions. And hopefully somewhere down the lane
And
we'll go into.
I also request like any of your friends who is planning to learn Tableau or shift to IT industry. I request to contact this same number so
Yeah.
that it will be useful for them also.
And I think next batch is starting on that 16th of August. The kickoff session will happen on 16th of January. Okay. So if anyone is interested, you can join that session. And first 2 weeks of Tableau training is free to access so that you will understand how the training is going. And then you can take a call whether to enroll or not, because we don't want someone to take a half-minded decision. So that is why we give 2 weeks access, so that they will clearly understand how this training went for the 2 weeks, and then they can enroll for the training. Okay, so for that you can visit our website rayapatianalytics.com, or you can also download our mobile app, and you can.
Hi Rajesh, I'm Saurabh.
Hi.
I have one query. Actually, I assigned to the uh, last batch, but I didn't. I actually joined after 1 week, so I joined like into the second week, and Shrikant knows about that, but I have not done my basics and all. So
you can talk to Srikant on that. No issues.
Okay.
Any issues you
And
have,
I
you
also
must reach
yeah,
out to
and
Srikant.
yeah, and I also need one career suggestion from you. Like I have like 7 years of experience, and that is like of backend type back office. But yes, I have seen like concepts from Tableau server and work on advanced Excel and all. So is it possible for me to take all that 7 years of experience and show in at least 6 months and so of rigorous training, or like
To show 7 years, see, there is one logic that my
not
faculty has
not
taught
7 years,
me.
sorry. Yes, I have 7 years, but at least 4 to 5 years.
Yeah,
Like
3 4 years. Once the training is done, you can put 4 years of experience. If you actually follow what the training is and how it is happening, right?
Okay.
You can clearly put minimum of 4 years experience, because the scenarios that we teach in there will help you put your resume and address the scenarios that people will ask you in interview or any other things. That will be
Okay.
helpful. So
And how
yeah,
much?
4 years you can
Okay.
put.
Yeah. Okay. And how much I will need to learn SQL? I have basic concepts. I know basic concepts. Basic
We are
SQL.
planning,
Like how
actually
much
we are
percentage?
planning to. See, in SQL, you mean to say, when you ask UCT how much T-SQL are we providing, or how much SQL you have to learn? Because
No.
both are
How much
different.
is needed? How much is needed? How much is needed? Like
See, SQL,
100%
to
Tableau.
be frank, no. See, my point is, in Tableau, if you want to get a job in Tableau and work on Tableau, till join like basic say all the clauses in select statement, you need to understand that functions, and then what do you say, joins, relationships, and analytical SQL. This is fine, but don't look your career as a Tableau developer.
Okay.
Look your career as a BI developer, business intelligence developer. Now, initially you are entering with the Tableau, but again, even if you enter into that, the more your experience grows, the more your SQL knowledge also should grow.
Okay.
Only then you can be competent enough in the market. So learn basics of SQL, learn good amount of Tableau, enter into the market, and then do a detailed course into SQL. Detailed course.
Okay.
Like not only SQL, do a detailed course into SQL, do a detailed course into data modeling, do a detailed course into any of the ETL tool, do a detailed course into performance tuning of SQL. Then you will be called. Now, map the don't hurry up. Map this over next 3 years, 4 years, comfortably. First, put enough time, understand that, and then you like coming in the coming 3 4 years, you should cover everything that is related to data. So that is how you
Okay.
should plan your career.
Okay. So to at least enter into the IT industry, or like into the Tableau first, like at least 70 to 80% hands-on should be needed on Tableau, right?
Yes. No, see, the point is it's not about the here is, to be frank, what I can comfortably or confidently say is if you complete the training perfectly, like listen to all the recorded videos and attend the live sessions, practice those scenarios, you will be able to at least address 70 to 80% of your real-time tasks. And if you are again facing problem in there, we already have doubt sessions, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Rajesh. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay, then everyone, we'll again meet on Srikanth. The next date is 23rd, right? I don't know if Srikanth is present, but yeah, the next date
Yeah,
is
next is 23rd.
Yeah, 23rd. We have a doubt session.
Same 11 a.m. 7
Yeah,
11
same
a.m.
11 a.m. Same link as well. The
Yes.
link will be standard. So next week is kickoff session. The next week to that is doubt session. Okay. So yeah, thank you everyone for attending. We'll again meet the next week or the next week to that. I think Srikant, you can end the recording.
Yes, I also request all the YouTube viewers also to subscribe the YouTube channel and also follow our YouTube social channels, which we will be providing in the description.
Yeah, please do that. That will help us you to get the updates as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you for today.
Yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.